Welcome to an M3 Collective Book Review. Today we're discussing Presence by Amy Cuddy, bringing your boldest self to your biggest challenges. I would recommend this book, but I give it a soft recommendation versus a must-read recommendation. And the reason I do is that this book is more of an exploration of presence and your own personal power and social power versus it being explicitly instructional. I found that the themes throughout were vast and not necessarily comprehensive within the confines of the bounds of the book. So I think it was more introduction to key themes, and it posed a lot of questions versus, oh, I've got it now. So for me, there were a lot of questions around equity and around who has a voice and how their voices are being used. But I did think that there were many valuable points within this book. And I really liked the fact that she shed light on other people's idea of presence as well. And for me, a couple of the quotes that she brought to light for me and spotlighted were Walt Whitman's quote, "We convince by our presence," and Maya Angelou's quote, "Stand up straight and realize who you are, that you tower over your circumstances." This idea that presence is yours. It's neither created or destroyed. It is yours because you are here. You are human. It is a fundamental right to be able to hold and expand your personal power. I love this idea that presence is to be unveiled, that it is not a thing to acquire. It is yours, and discovering it is a process that is sometimes a lifelong process. Simon, I look forward to your thoughts.
Yeah, I like the book, especially to introduce us to what it means by being present, and the definition I got, which I like a lot, is basically being your authentic best self, right? It's not just being authentic, but it has to be, is it the best that you can be? And we can definitely apply that in everything that we do, right? In our lives, in any situation. And the book kind of, starting with the definition itself, I think Amy Cuddy kind of went through and kind of talk about all the different things that can get us to that point, being our best authentic self. And obviously, she's a researcher at Harvard, and a lot of these things are backed by a lot of the not just her own work, but other works as well in that field, right? And she's trying to maybe bring some credibility into the research that she and her colleagues have done over the years, and try to show that, hey, all this stuff kind of relates to one another and builds on one another to get us the ability to have that personal power, so that we can be more present in all the things that we do. So, however, I mean, I found that some parts of the book are a little, lengthy, right? As you go into the different research, how they set up the research. I'm not sure whether that will kind of resonate with a lot of the readers. Myself, I guess I tend to like to get to the point quicker, and hopefully I can make use of it or apply that to my own lives. And so a lot of the details I tend to skim over or even skip. I read through this like 3 times now, and that helps for me to tie the different pieces together. But I remember the first time when I was reading through it, I was thinking, what does this have to do with the key topic, which is being present, right? So after a couple other more times of reading it and thinking about it, I think I get that picture now. So at the end of the day, I would recommend the book actually, even though with some of the less clear spots or confusing parts. But I think she did present some tips on how to go about doing it, right? And I think this is something that we can apply. That it is practical enough for me. So I would say, this is something that we all can learn and be better, and definitely will help us be successful in the other things that we do. So I would recommend this. I would.
Yeah, it's great hearing both your analysis and your recommendations, both Simon as well as Anjannette. With me, I'm kind of on the fence with this one. I would say that I'm more of a neutral recommendation, and I would recommend this book to certain people in certain instances. And what I mean by that is, like, let's say, for instance, you're someone who is probably younger in your career, and you're trying to make sure that your voice is heard or represented in an office setting or in sort of an academic setting, then, or even sports and entertainment setting. If you're really trying to make sure that people can feel you and make sure that you have an impact in those environments, then I would say, yeah, give this book a whirl if you need to sort of deconstruct yourself in order to improve your presence in any of those environments. Now, where the book sort of falls flat, or where people can somewhat be, I don't want to necessarily say annoyed, but where people won't necessarily find as much value as if you are more established, if you do not have issues with presence, if you've had an opportunity to work in a corporate or sales environment and you're comfortable in your skin and you're comfortable externalizing and communicating in large groups, then while the book has value, you might find it takes a little bit of time in order to get to those key and critical points. Overall, there's useful information in the book that's helpful, that you'll walk away from it smarter, more intelligent, with a clear understanding of what a power pose is, and some of the other antidotes that the author was able to demonstrate. Book is filled with useful information, filled with powerful quotes, and it goes much more than just you walking in a room and having that presence and being able to effectively communicate. It does provide very useful and powerful antidotes that can help us all through our daily lives. And with that being said, I'm a neutral recommendation. And I would just say that, hey, it's 300 pages and you don't necessarily find value from all the pages, but there is value in the text.
I just want to add to that is she started all this with a TED Talk, right? Yeah. And I think, we will post the link on our description there. And so if you don't want to read through all 300 plus pages, go watch the TED Talk. I think that you get a lot of those key information from there too.
And what's also interesting about her TED Talk is that with all the information that she provides in her book, you can really assess how Amy Cuddy projects her presence. And what's also been interesting about M3 Collective is that we're all new to videoing ourselves and watching ourselves back again. So certainly in my experience, I've been judging my own presence. I had, there's a sense of who you think you are and how then you perceive yourself sort of out of body and watching yourself on a screen. And it's been a very strange, disconcerting experience about looking at yourself and sensing into watching your own presence before you. It's not been a great experience for me.
Well, I think this is all part of this, right? I mean, we are learning as we are discussing all this, where we are not experts in everything. So I think a lot of this is just being who we are and wanting to try something different, and yeah, how we look at how we talk is who we are. So.
And I think that's one of the things about our collective is that, we're not experts. We're going through the process of each of these reads along
Mhm.
with you all, along with other readers, and sharing our thoughts. And certainly the conversation doesn't end here. We are looking forward to and welcome so many different voices in this space, because we're all sort of navigating life and uncertainties and ourselves and our situations all at once. And we're looking to these reads to help us see in a different way.